words that you should never say if you are an entrepreneur. So as people in business for ourselves, as network marketers, we get out there and we get hit with all different things in life, right? We get hit with challenges. We get hit with problems that may roll our way. We certainly get hit with, a little bit of, fear of maybe being rejected or talking to prospects, all of that. It all goes down. And so, the power of our words, they say that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And so we got to be really, really careful what we allow to fly out of our mouth, especially when we say words that start with I. Anything you say that, you say I this or I that or I'm this or I'm that, you're kind of declaring your fate, be it good, be it bad, or be it, indifferent. And so a couple of things about that, I'm a big student of personal development. I love Tony Robbins. And what's interesting is he says that oftentimes us as people, us as human beings, we have these little patterns that we go through where we will have consistent ways of being, consistent mindsets, consistent emotions that we go through on a regular basis in our life. Like, just take a minute right now and think for yourself. Do you have, let's just think in a week, okay? What are the things that always seem to happen? What are your good emotions? Like, are you happy? Are you excited? Are you feeling adventurous? Are you feeling playful? Are you feeling, like just zest for life? What are the positives? And then what are the not so positives? What are the negatives? Like, anger, frustration, anxiety, fear, resentment, bitterness, things like that. He talks about that we will have the same emotions that we kind of play out in our life on a regular basis. So I'm just curious if there was an emotion that came to mind as I was going through these. What was it for you? Did you have a happy emotion that came to mind? You're like, yeah, I'm always spunky. I'm always excited. I'm always, into, doing new and fun things. Or was it like, man, I'm always frustrated. I'm always, there's always something that ruffles my feathers. What was it for you? If you have an emotion that came to mind when we talked about that, go ahead and throw it up there in the comment section so that we can all share. We can all be, kind of out there with what's going on in our life. And, it doesn't matter who you are. We all have these positive ones, right? And then we all have these negative ones, these things that it would be better if we could learn not to play that emotional button when something goes off. I'll share with you, some of my positives are happy and excited and just like totally pumped about life. And I had some negatives when I went through this exercise. I was like, shoot, I have some negative things I need to clear on out. So I'll tell you a couple of them, and you can see if maybe this is something that you see in your life as an area that we want to not say those words about ourselves. We want to not play that emotional button any longer, okay? The first one is frustrated. Have you ever been frustrated before? If you're an entrepreneur, can I get an amen? Because we've all been at a place where we have been frustrated, right? And it's easy to get yourself in a situation where you feel that way. But if you are in business for yourself or you're a network marketer, frustrated is one of those words we need to cut out of the dictionary, because it is our job to overcome the obstacles. It is our job to provide solutions to people. So you know what? We're going to probably go through some things that may cause a little frustration, but it's how we handle that situation. It's how we view it. It's how we see it in our own mind that will determine how it's going to play out in our life. So instead of when you get in a situation where you could say, you know what? This is a little frustrating. In fact, I'm a little PO'd right now, right? Like, this is just odd. Why is this happening? You have to kind of put on your entrepreneur hat and say, you know what? Am I going to declare frustration over my life? Am I going to speak that out of my mouth? Am I going to start playing that emotional button in my life? No, because frustration is not going to get you to your dreams and goals. It's just going to cause you to go around in circles like a dog chasing its tail, and that's not going to help you move forward. So what's something that we could use to replace that type of emotion? Perhaps problem solver. It's interesting because one of the things that I've seen in all of the different leadership books that are out there is that, the things that ruffle your feathers, the things that press your hot buttons, the things that like get you upset, be it small things or be it large things, really determine where you're at in the whole scheme of things, right? Is your leadership level high? Is your mental capacity high? Well, then not much is gonna set you off. But if we're at a spot in our life where we need to start working on that muscle, we need to start restraining how, we view different things and the thoughts that we allow to run rampant in our mind, then anything can set you off. I mean, shoot, someone cuts you off in traffic and we could have problems, right? I mean, so frustrated is a word that we want to learn to cut out of our vocabulary and cut out of our emotional scale that we play for ourselves on a regular basis. Because we all can decide, hey, am I going to let this situation irritate me and just get me in a bad frame of mind? Or am I going to say, you know what can I learn from this? How can I get better with this? How can I be a problem solver in this scenario? And if we start thinking with that mindset, it's going to, first of all, life is going to be better. But second of all, your business is going to grow faster. Everything's going to start to work for you in a positive way. Second one, this is a big one, confused. Okay. As people in business for ourselves, we will go through situations where we maybe don't have every single answer from A to Z. But it is our job to, again, be able to be in a frame of mind where we can say, you know what? No matter how big the problem, no matter what is going on, you have the ability to figure it out. I mean, shoot, we got YouTube. We had Google. We have all these things that 5, 10, 20 years ago, they did not have. And so, learning to cut the confusion out, because here's what I found, and I know this to be true in my life and in business, is that cash follows clarity. If you are at a spot where you're like, hello, I need a little cash flow going on in my life, then the more clear you can get, the less confusion, the less, clutter that you have in your mind, the more of a breakthrough that you are going to see in your life. So confusion is another one we just need to X-nay right on out of our vocabulary and learn to start handling the things that would typically confuse us in the past with a new frame of mind, with a new point of reference, knowing that, you know what, if you are going to get to the finish line and retire from your job, become a 6 or 7 figure earner in your company, go to the top of your comp plan, create something that's a legacy for you and your family. If you're going to do this up big, you will have situations where it may be easy for someone to get confused, but you're going to come at it from a frame of mind where it's like, hey, this is part of my job description. I got this. How can I bust through this? And believing in yourself that you have the capacity, believing in yourself that you have the ability to figure that thing out, whatever that might be, is going to help you power through and get to the finish line. So that was number 2. The last one is big. And you know what? There's so many people that say this statement and it's almost just like common day language. Okay? Here's what it is. I can't. I can't do that because of this. I can't do that because of this. I can't do whatever. It's interesting because it's so easy for people to say I can't until someone comes along and gets it done. So we are going to make a pact tonight that that's going to be us, okay? That when there's a situation where it's easy to say, I can't, we're going to swap that around and we're going to say, how can I, as an entrepreneur, as a network marketer, as somebody in business for yourself, how can I do this? If our goal is here, how can I get there? If my goal at closeout at the end of the month is this, how can we make it happen? I know it looks far off, but what can we put in place to rearrange some things to help some people in the team do what they got to do so that we can make a possibility with that thought, with that idea? So just those 3 things. I learned this concept, this idea from a friend of mine who is a multi-million-dollar 7-figure earner, started in network marketing, and it was something that always stuck with me because I said, you know what? Prior to that point in my life, I used to say those words. And maybe occasionally they might slip up. But you know what? I catch myself. And you have to be in the same frame of mind where, hey, if you get in a spot where you start to get frustrated, stop it. Say, you know what? Hey, I'm going to grow my leadership skills right here and right now. I'm not going to let this problem ruffle my feathers. I'm not going to let this problem get under my skin. I'm going to roll with this situation. I'm going to roll with this scenario. And I'm going to work on through whatever that situation is. Put on your problem solver hat. And use that as a way of thinking. Same with, being confused and feeling like you're kind of in a fog. I know, especially as business owners, as network marketers, as entrepreneurs, it's easy to be the lone ranger. And you're like out there by yourself doing what you got to do. And sometimes we got to take a second and sit back and say, hey, let's draw this out on paper. Let's get a real good idea of what's going on, especially if you're in network marketing. Drawing out your business is one of the best ways to clear confusion out of the air. If you want to know where to work in your team, if you want to know what to focus on, make it real clear. You know, it says write the vision and make it plain on tablets so that those that may read it may run, right? The more clear you have that in front of you, the easier it will be for you to get to the finish line. So those are the three things that you want to take those words out of your vocabulary. You want to cut them out of the dictionary so that they're not things that you say anymore. They're not part of what you declare over your life. They're not part of what you see playing out in your emotions on a regular basis. And you know, one of the things that I've seen for many 6- and 7-figure earners that do get to the finish line and reach their goals, that do rank up, that are receiving many accolades from their company and from their team, is that they make a conscious effort to clear out the things that have a stronghold in their life. Whether it's, you know, dealing with fear, whether it's dealing with things of the past, whether it's being, you know, not focused or being confused, you know, clearing that out so that they can really buckle down and run forward into their future. So I have something that if you're maybe dealing with some of these things, that will help you bust on through. And it is actually a 10-step process that I put together earlier in the year, specifically designed for, you know, clearing out the nonsense in your life, focusing in, dialing down, and putting a plan of action in place so that you can get to your dreams and goals and make this year, make this time, make this season your season. You know, I'm sure you've seen many people come through and go before you. But you know what? There's one person that can decide that your time is now. And that person is you, my friend. So if you want to learn how to do that, if you want to learn how to apply that in your life, then you can click on the link that's listed in the description. It's an extra bonus training. It's my free gift to you. Take it, enjoy it, use it. Send me some feedback because I know you're going to have some great results. So I want to hear those testimonies. But I hope you enjoyed it and apply it in your life. And you know, nobody comes in and has got this whole thing figured out. We all have to go through the journey. We have to go through the process. We got to go through the steps of changing our thinking so that we can go where we want to go. You know, for you to be a top level leader in your company, it's going to take a different mindset than the person that signed up. So I'm believing you probably have some new people that recently signed up. They've been in the business for, you know, 30, 60, 90, 120 days, or maybe you have some veterans that are 6 months, a year, 2 years. And you know, as their leader or as their friend, as their teammate, that helping them change this will help them go to the next level as well. So take care, my friends. Be blessed. And I'll see y'all next time. For more great training and to receive your free bonus training, the 10-step process for getting out of your own way and finally rank advancing, visit summergeronimo.com.